I want to start by saying I'm not a fan of NASCAR or any sort of racing, and previously to this film, I had no idea who Ken Miles was. With that said, this movie is awesome. It's highly entertaining and thrilling, and I even found myself emotionally invested, which really tied together this whole experience as one of my favorite films of the year. I'm going to do a quick spoiler-free review for you guys where I break the film down into 5 separate categories and rate each category out of 5 stars. I'll then add up all those scores and divide by 5 to get my total score out of 5 stars for the film. Please enjoy and consider subscribing. Ford vs. Ferrari is a historically accurate film about Ford's attempt to beat Ferrari at the 24-hour Le Mans race, which I had no idea was even a thing. That's completely wild. A bizarre test of strength and endurance, potentially life-threatening for its drivers. 24 hours. Matt Damon plays Shelby, a previous Le Mans winner who's abandoned racing because of his heart issues and started manufacturing sports cars until his famous collaboration with Ford that led to the GT models. Christian Bale plays Ken Miles, who is the main character. A close friend of Shelby, Ken is a talented auto mechanic and driver, struggling to make a living and be a role model for his son.
All right.
But I'll say that Ken Miles is now one of my spirit animals. I found myself very emotionally invested in his success, and he's the reason I found myself crying so much during this movie. While in a broad perspective, this film is about Ford's attempt to beat Ferrari's winning streak, the movie is really about 2 men struggling against Ford as a corporation, because a corporation can't win the Le Mans. So it really works in both of those ways. 5 out of 5 stars.
Carroll Shelby. Maybe. Lehigh Coke. Ford Motor.
Christian Bale and Matt Damon are both hilarious and powerful, commanding the attention of every scene they are in. It's hard not to root for these guys.
I'm yours. I'll go to hell.
Christian Bale has been playing a lot of high-profile characters, and while Ken Miles may not ring a bell, this is a high-profile performance, and one of my favorites for this year, tied with Dafoe in The Lighthouse, of course. The rest of the cast did an incredible job, and in particular, this beautiful lady, who played Molly Miles. It was really nice to see Ken Miles' wife support him in his decisions to race.
I thought the whole point was to win the damned race.
Even with the life-threatening circumstances. Not following the usual trope of the upset wife selfishly denying her husband's attempt at greatness. So, thanks for that, guys. 5 out of 5.
I ever break a promise to you?
The film looks great. The racing scenes are some of the best in the genre. I was on the edge of my seat, holding my breath every time Miles took a turn, going 200 miles per hour at 7,000 RPMs, which I don't even know what that stands for, but it's freaking fast. It's visually breathtaking, and the high-risk situations make it all the more exhilarating. Off the track, however, this film did suffer from a couple bland shots, specifically shots dealing with the Ford Corporation. In the attempt of showing how lifeless a corporation can be, the color and style used to present the Ford warehouse was bland on purpose, which I don't think was necessary. Yes, corporations and warehouses are not pretty, but there is a rustic charm to be found in this time period that wasn't present in these moments. So, 4 out of 5 stars. If we dial it back to the situation I previously described of Ken Miles taking a tight turn going 200 miles per hour at 7,000 RPMs, what would you expect to hear? The team behind the sound editing knew exactly what was going on and interlaced a great score within the intense, loud sounds of the booming Ford GT40 that Miles is racing with. There's a lot of noise that vehicles make, especially race cars, and the sound team understood this and somehow made it both pleasing and exhilarating. I fully expect to see it win this category during the awards season. 5 out of 5.
Nothing in there about my trunk and your...
What initially almost kept me from seeing this film was the long runtime. As I said, I wasn't a fan of car racing going into this film. The runtime scared me, but there's no need to fear. Honestly, I was entertained the entire film, never checking my phone. It's high energy most of the film, like a Scorsese, almost. James Mangold, the guy behind Logan and 3:10 to Yoma, did a great job with this movie, and his filmography is becoming more and more impressive. 4 out of 5 stars, just because the runtime is scary to those who haven't seen it. 5 for story, plus 5 for acting, plus 4 for cinematography, and a clean 5 for sound design, plus a 4 for entertainment, wields us with 23. If we divide that by 5, we get our total score of 4.6. So 4.6 out of 5 stars is a great score for this movie, and it's one of my favorites of the year. Definitely one of 2019's finest films. With emotionally charged performances and an accurate, well-constructed story, a must-watch for everyone, even those, like me, who don't care about cars. Thanks for watching, guys. Please consider subscribing, like the video if you did, and please share with your movie-watching buddies. See you next Sunday.